Good morning. I'm Candace and this is Fitness and Harmonies. Today we're going to do a mix of yoga and Pilates. The session we did a couple days ago called Artistic Flow and meeting your discomfort in a flow of dance, it was too good to not do again. So let's do that again. First, I want you to figure out if you're taking a comfortable seat. So I always begin with saying, take a comfortable seat. So you always see me rock side to side. What I'm doing is I'm locating my sits bones. You know, those are those two bones at the bottom of the pelvic bowl that you sit on. And if you're sitting on a very hard thing, you find them pretty quickly. So move the flesh out of the way. First find that's the bottom of the pelvic bowl. Now in the front of the pelvis, there is the pubic bone. We're not going to rock all the way towards it, but at the back there's the tailbone. So that makes almost like a diamond on the bottom between those four bones I just described. So see if you can find, or at least imagine those four bones, and then make that plane level. Remember, it tips just a little bit forward. And then take these legs, maybe recross a few times to figure out which one goes inside the other one and which one feels a little bit uncomfortable. And so when I rock side to side, what I'm really doing is getting my legs down as close to the floor as possible. If that's not possible, if this is feeling really uncomfortable, because I said take a comfortable seat, grab something, a block or a blanket, or a small pillow, and sit at the edge, the forward edge of that thing. So again, the sits bones, the tailbone, and the pubic bone make this diamond that's a little bit tipped forward. Let's inhale and reach up. Exhale, extend up and back. Inhale up, twist to one side, let the arms down. I've already been out in my garden today, so I need this stretch in my low back already. Take your chin and sort of sweep it side to side, so from one shoulder to the other. So we're going to do this artistic flow today, expanding the lines of energy more and more. So even if you just slowly inhale and exhale, you're getting a good workout today. Once your chin comes over that back shoulder, nod your chin down and a little bit up. Even if you're just slowing down to support yourself today, you're doing a really good thing here. And so what I want you to be is a powerful change agent in your own perception of life, of this life force. Drop the chin down and hold. Now take the back of the head and rock it a little side to side. Look, you're twisting the back of your neck and feeling around for any tension. Remember, I want you to be a powerful change agent in your perception of this life force that you're harboring in this body. Lift your head up, come back to center. Let's try all that again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lift up and back. Keep the chin slightly down. Keep the chest broad and open. Inhale up, twist to the other side and let the arms down. Once you get there, so you're spiraling up the spine, turn the head slowly left and right, to the front and to the back. So Pilates and yoga share this concept of mind-body. And what I really want your practice to be more than mind-body actually is mind-breath. Once your head turns to the back, hold it there, and now nod your chin down and a little bit up. What I mean by mind-breath is that your mind is following the breath's little pathways. Drop your chin down and hold. Rock the top of your head, forward and back to the front of the room and the back of the room. Feeling out, going deeper into the layers of tissue that are harboring tension and worry and fear and anxiety and depression. All of those mental states or emotional states. Slowly lift your head up, bring the head back to center. Let's come into hands and knees. I want to go through a sun salutation to get started. So first, with the hands under the shoulders and knees under hips, practice rocking forward and back. I got my toes tucked under because I really want to honor stretching the bottom of the foot. And there's a line, a ligament. I want to use this word ligament because fundamentally we're bones. Fundamentally, that's how movement happens. If we didn't have bones, nothing would happen. So the bones are connected by ligaments, and that's almost the most important thing. Because from the bottom of the biggest toe there, all the way to the top of your head is connected with a series of ligaments. Now come to level, so not forward, not back, and then take the skin on the sides of the ribs and wrap it around to the center. Do the same thing, the skin on the side of the waist and wrap it around to center. So you're taking these two ends of a belt and pulling them in. Now lift off into downward dog. And we're going to take a slow walk forward. In a moment, I'm going to walk a little bit weird to get there, but once you get there, come to forward fold and hold. 2 breaths there. Inhale, exhale. Bend your knees, lift your arms, sit into a little chair. So lift your chest, your head. So we're going to make a little flow of this. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, extend back. Inhale, come up. Hold here. Exhale, lean over. Inhale, float up. Exhale, lean over. Inhale, up. Exhale to forward fold. So bend, hinging at the hips, not at the spine. The spine stays as straight as it can. Walk back to hands and knees. We'll start again. We'll start by pushing back into like a child's pose. But then come up and forward into like a plank. So try that. Push back and then push forward. Really enliven your fingers. Like I have a little Band-Aid on this one. So even if they don't have a little Band-Aid on them, feel the skin making contact with the floor. Feel how the arm bone, remember you're fundamentally bones. And bones really are the thing that allow movement. Come to center, turn the toes if they're not. Lift up and float back. Remember, wrap the side of the waist into the belly. Lift the sits bones. Remember those? We just worked on finding them up. So it's almost like there's a hook on the bottom of your sits bone and pulling it up. Now we're going to take this jaggedy, zigzaggy walk. Cross one leg sort of in front of and to the opposite side of the other. Then take the other leg and cross. So you're doing this runway model walk left and right until you slowly make your way to the center of the mat with the feet mostly together. And then find forward fold. Now use the breath to purify the brain, the mind, the nervous system. So breathe in, breathe out. Use visualization. Imagine that your breath, remember I want to call this mind breath practice, that your breath is creating a scene. You know, an imaginary place where everything is beautiful. From here, bend your knees, zip the abdominals, and lift the arms. Sit into this little chair. So sit back another millimeter like that chair. You know, if somebody pulled it back behind you and you had to slide a little bit further back. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, lean to one side. So both arms and the side waist lift up and over like a big rainbow. Inhale up. Exhale over the other way. Inhale up. Forward fold. Gracefully make your way back to hands and knees. Step back and down. Same thing. Push back into child's pose. Lift up, press forward into plank pose. I'm going to add on here. Push back into child's pose. Come forward into plank pose. Lift the knees up so that you're on the toes pose. Drop the knees down and push back. So if you want to add that little lift the knee, push forward. Plank hold. All right, I want you to imagine your parachute or one of those big hot air balloons. And when you come to your plank pose, I want your body to spread out and catch the wind. So a parachute or that hot air balloon is useless if it's not spread out. So whenever you come to your plank, spread everything out and catch the wind. So we're doing mind breath practice today. An artistic flow. So I want you to imagine you're filling up that hot air balloon or that parachute to save your life. When you're ready, move into downward dog. So you could do that from plank if you want. You could do it from hands and knees. You could do it from child's pose. But downward dog. Here we go. Let's take that zigzag walk. Left foot or right foot cross, 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 and then come to center. I don't know how many that was. Sit into that chair, drop the hips, lift the arms, pull the shoulders back. Another breath here. Slide the hips back like the chair just got pulled out from under you. Then inhale up. Exhale over to one side. Inhale up. So we're really just taking a walk here. That's all we're really doing. This is a beautiful walk. Forward fold. I want to go through all of that again. Brace your abdominals. Come down to hands and knees. Push back into child's pose. Push forward into plank pose. Lift the knees if that's what you like. Pose. Drop the knees. Push back into child's pose. I'm going to add on here again. Come up to either plank on the knees or plank on the toes or just hands and knees. But wherever you are from here, lift one leg and hold. Put that leg down. Lift the other leg up and hold. Put that leg down. Lower the knees. Push back into downward dog. Sorry, lift up. Press back to downward dog. I forgot what these things were called for a second there. Then take your zigzaggy walk, left and right. Cross, 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 cross. Come to center and hold. Inhale, exhale. Blow out. Sit the hips down. Lift the chest and the head up. Pause. In this next breath, someone pulls the chair out, and so you have to lean back, right? Because your hips are trying to find that chair. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, lean over. Inhale up. Exhale, lean over. Inhale up. Forward fold. And all the way down to hands and knees. One more time because it's too good to not do again. Child's pose, push back. Come forward into either hands and knees, plank on the knees, or plank on the toes. Wherever you are now, lift one leg and hold. Put it down. Lift the other leg up and hold. And put it down. Push back into downward dog. However you do that, maybe you have a string in your house and it's lifting you up by the tail. Now take your zigzag walk, right over left or whatever. Cross, 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 cross. Are you almost there? Step to forward fold and hold. Bend the knees now. Sit into that baby chair and hold. Slide the hips a little bit further back and hold. Uncrunch the shoulders and then inhale all the way up. Let's pause here. Lean over to one side and hold. Hold. I'm saying hold, but what I really mean is explore. So take your mind breath. That's a thing. Let's imagine there's one word that means mind breath. Your breath and your mind are traveling now on that side of the body. That's the big arch. And it's like carving out, like you're watering. You know how you water the plants and it goes into the soil and it goes all through the soil more and more and more. That's what you're doing here. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lean to the other side. Same thing, hold and hold, but really what you're doing is you're exploring with your mind breath. You're exploring this vascular network of a feeling state of realizing. So the nervous system really just is sort of an information thing. It's telling you messages. So your mind breath is going through the nervous system and it's like listening, like you're putting a stethoscope there and listening. Inhale up. Exhale to forward fold. Step back into downward dog. It's a little different. Downward dog. 3 breaths. 2. Come down to hands and knees. Now, as you made that transition, I want you to notice that the head of your arm bone spun open a little bit so that your tricep, you know, the back, the flabby part of your arm, sort of turned to the back. So you're wrapping the muscles on the side and back of the arm onto your back. That's kind of an important transition to notice. From here, let's suck the belly in, then bend the elbows. Your chin and chest almost land like up here at your fingertips, not back here, but a little bit forward. Hold that there. Keep the heads of the arm bones splaying open, not crunching closed, and then push up into cat pose. Let's do that again. Flatten the back, weave the abdominals together, bend the elbows. The elbows can go out a little bit, but not a lot. Hover the chin and chest just above and in front of the fingertips. Push all the way up into cat pose. One more time. Inhale. Release the spine. But contract the abdominals. Inhale again. Exhale, bend and hover and hold. Another breath. Good. When you're ready, exhale, push up into cat pose and hold. So let's hold cat pose. All right, put the mind through the body. And so it doesn't really matter whether we're talking about fascia or ligaments or arteries, or it doesn't matter. Every cell of your body sort of works the same fundamental way. It takes an energy, it grows and it dies. It replicates itself and dies. We're going to honor that process, that natural flow, by enlivening, so that growing part and living its life part. 3 more breaths. Grow the thoracic, that's the upper back, up, 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 up. Now grow the lower back, up, 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 up. Almost like they're 2 different backs. And then walk all the way forward and come down to the belly. I gotta move my things. Stack your hands. We're going to bend both knees, but then walk your knees a little bit wide, so no wider than your mat. And then we're going to walk the legs. We'll lift one leg, then lift the other. All right, so probably keep your head down so you can concentrate on not overarching the back. Inhale, exhale. Now that you've got that, focus on squeezing the mid-abdominals in the front. The mid-abdominals, you know. Further refine the mind's connection to the muscles, but it's doing it through the breath. So don't do anything until your breath is there to do it. 3. Remember, make the connection now to the mid-abdominals. And 1. Lift both legs and hold. Stretch the legs out and hold. Yikes. And then release the legs down. Push back into child's pose. So let's wiggle our heart back into a fully supported position. So we've gone through sun salutation. We've put the low back and the abdominals through a lot of stress and strain already to make them adapt so that they're more stable. Do 3 slow, thankful breaths. I'm not doing my usual running routine because of my heel, so I'm very, very grateful that I still have my yoga Pilates so I can still move my body. Let's come back up to hands and knees. Now, if you have the ball, put the ball behind one leg, behind one knee. If you don't, I don't know, let me see if I can do this with a block. I guess I can. Put a block. If you don't have one of those, a small pillow, if you don't have one of those, it's okay. So scrunch with the knee up and then kind of release. Scrunch, if you release too much, you're going to release that ball or whatever and it's going to fall. So scrunch and release, scrunch and release. Notice the pattern here with Pilates. I put you into sort of an exercise, little movement pattern, and then I tell you to concentrate. I've tried it the other way, concentrate first, and we never get to the actual exercise. So now that we're here, concentrate. Concentrate on, not so much the leg. The leg's kind of doing what it's got to do. But concentrate on the abdominals. Now the lower band of abdominals, squeeze those. They stay holding. They don't squeeze, release. They stay holding. So it's almost like Pilates is like a little magic act. We're distracting you, not on purpose, but we're distracting you so that the nervous system has to learn to do 2 or at least 3 things at once. 3, 2, hold this one. Now little pulses up, up. I'm going to flex my foot. Up, 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 up. Now broaden the shoulders out. Remember that wrap the arm around, that muscle around onto the back thing? Do that on both sides. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release that down. Hey, take that leg, take the ball out, and slowly step it forward. Push a little forward, so you may want to crawl your hands forward. Take a deep breath that infuses the breath into whatever muscle needs a little extra. Then push all the way back. So leave that heel up front and feel. In fact, I'm going to say take your hand and feel the back of that leg, kind of strum. You know, I'm like grabbing and stroking, I guess, plucking the hamstring muscle there. And then maybe rub the side of the leg, you know, where your inseam, outseam, you know, the seam of the pants is. And then hold for 2 breaths, just long, long, long breath. And then we'll come back. So I'm going to flip. You stay where you are, grab the ball or the block or the little stuffed toy. Maybe you have a little stuffed toy that wants to go along, and put it behind the knee. And then what do? I don't remember. We squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. Squeeze. This leg is more slidey than the other leg was. Squeeze, release. Why is that? I don't know. Oh, I had the ball. I have the ball this time. Squeeze, release. All right, now you've got that. I trust that you've got that. Square the hips, right? So you're not twisting open. We're no twisting, flipping over. No flip dog here. Flip cow, whatever this is. Squeeze, release. Now notice the abdominals. Squeeze them and hold. Keep them holding. Squeeze the abdominal muscles in and hold. But the leg keeps doing this like slow pumping action. 4, 3, 2. Now do little lifts. So lift, like kicking the heel up to the ceiling. I want to direct your attention again to the head of the arm bone. It's spun open, and the muscles on the back of the arm are connecting to the muscles on the back of the shoulder blade, and they're squeezing and holding in. Think about like a back fly. Find the lower abdominals, hold those in. Lengthen the sides of the neck. We started out today by stretching the sides of the neck. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release that down. I'm going to take that same leg, take the ball or the thing out, step forward and then lean forward. Go slowly. You know, give yourself, make this like, you know, some beautiful vacation spa moment for yourself. And that's your mind. Your mind has to decide for itself that it's going to choose to be happy. Picture yourself happy as you're doing this. It actually does help to actually put a smile on your face. Push the hips back. Not one of those like fake, you know, when I'm at the end of a race and I know the photographer's right there and I have to like go, and it comes out as this weird grimace thing. Not that. It's like a genuine, I'm grateful to be here, smile. All right, hand under the hamstring. Give it a couple of strums. What we're doing is we're unkinking the hose, the creative flow hose and energy hose, everything that enlivens you. And then with the hand, maybe rub up and down that outer seam of your pants, pushing the flesh forward and back. Remember, it doesn't kind of really matter whether we're talking about skin, fat, fascia, whatever. All things need our energy. Good. Make your way back to hands and knees and downward dog. Paddle those legs, so bend one knee, then the other, twisting the hips around. Make this a creative, almost like you're circling your pelvis back and up there. 2. Then walk all the way forward. From here, cradle your elbows. So make your arms so that they're holding each other and swing your arms side to side. Not your head, not even your body right now, just your arms. Swing, 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 swing. Then circle the arms. Make circles, a circle. Around and around we go. What we're doing is we're shaking out the neurochemistry of stress. Go the other way. So there's a reason dancing and music and movement all feel good. Yeah, why would they feel good, right? There has to be something to it. Then just hold, hang. Give this, I'm going to take 3 wipe the slate clean breaths. Walk your hands up to your knees, sit into that little chair. So what's really happening is my hips are coming down and down and down. Yeah, my head pops up. It's got to go somewhere. I can't stay down there. But it's the hips dropping and the knees bending. Can't tell you how often I have to say to people, bend your knees, bend your knees. And they're like, my elbow? No, your knees. You know what your knee is, right? Come all the way up. When you're up and ready, come to a Pilates stance. That's where we spin the leg bones out and the back of the heels push in towards each other and the back of the calf bones push in and the back of the thigh bones push in. So all that stuff pushes in. So from here, let's try some releves. All we do from here is zip up the abdominals, find that little thread and string, make sure it's all tight there, then lift the heels up and down, up and down. All right, so begin to enliven the toe bones. Remember I said essentially we're just toes? We're just bones. And find the action of muscles. We got lots of muscles in the legs and in the feet. The action of the muscles, and then train them to actually lift you. Now come up and pulse 3. So it's lift, 2, 3, down 1. Lift, 2, 3, down 1. I'm going to leave you at this. And what I want you to now work on is abdominals. Yes, the legs are still doing their little dancers bar lifting action, but work on this band of abdominals pulling in and holding. Then think about how the abdominals are supporting the toes. What connection is there? 4 more. What is crunching or squeezing that doesn't need to be crunching or squeezing? All right, so come down. Take a step out, maybe, 6 inches between those legs. Balance on one leg. We're going to take the other leg and bring it to a point, the toe. Widen the chest. If you want to do this ballet thing with your arms, that's great. Because it reminds you, as your hands are touching there, that should be going in. So that's a reminder to pull that in and hold. We're going to take this toe and point it forward and back. Forward and back. Now smooth that out like you're sort of sweeping the floor with your toe. I already did that today. I already swept the floor. So remember what your fingers, if they're here, are pointing at. Find that and make it weave together tighter. Forward and back. So with control. Now notice the 2 hip bones and don't let them twist and fall and move around. Keep them steady. Rock. Steady. 3, 2. Leave that leg forward and hold. Now lift it up and down. Now notice this leg bone is turned out. Lift up, tap down. Lift up, tap down. This other knee is micro bend. Now this leg pulses up. 3, 2, 1, and down. 3, 2, 1, and down. You got it. Once you've got that little thing going on, reconnect the mind breath to the abdominals. If you're following this, good for you. I'm just throwing everything at you so that you get an opportunity to fail. It's okay. 3 more. 3, 2, 1. 2, 2, 1. Last 1. Step onto that leg. Remember, they're still turned out. Lean. Point the other toe and hold. Straighten and uplift the spine. So a string going through the crown of your head. Pull the shoulders onto the back and hold. This other toe points forward and back. Forward and back without moving its hip. So maybe put your hand here and figure out, is my hip moving too? It shouldn't be. So send little tendrils of control down into that hip without creating tension or worry or fear, right? I'm not in your house yelling at you that hip is moving. It's okay. It's okay. Then wrap little bands around the waist to hold it steady. 3, 2. Bring that leg forward and hold. Return out the leg. Then lift the leg up, tap down. So the leg that's moving, imagine that it's like gesturing. It's like going, yes, over there. You know how you gesture and you can be very like dramatic with a flair? Imagine that you have that level of control over this leg. You're not just like lift, down, lift, down. You're not doing that. You're trying to actually express something with your leg. 3 up, 1 down. So it's 3, 2, 1, tap, lift, 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 tap, lift. You can think of it like a song, right? It has a certain tempo and time. And then there's the breath, right? Singing along, it's a little harmony in the back, it's rhythm. Zip, 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 squeeze in. 3, 2, you have to smile, and 1. Let's flow again. Circle up, extend back. Inhale up, forward fold. Walk back into plank pose. So hands go 1, 2, 3, and then they hold. Bring one hand center, turn to the sides of your feet. Lift this front arm and make this big letter T. Watch out for wrists and shoulders here. Maybe leave it out. Then go the other way. Dive this hand, put it where the other one was, under the shoulder. Spin to the sides of your feet. Unfurl this top arm. Keep the bottom arm and its shoulder. Rock steady. Come back to plank pose. So 2 hands under the shoulders. Three. Widen the collarbones. 2. Good. So begin to walk your knees forward and make your way onto your sits bones. So we're seated again. If you have the ball, get the ball. If you don't, then use the block or don't at all. Lean a little bit back and then just squeeze, release. Now you think I'm telling you to squeeze the ball or the knees, right? No. Squeeze the abdominals. Yeah, the knees are going to go in, right? You can't undo that. Squeeze the abdominals. So maybe take a look and see if they're actually doing that. Squeeze, squeeze. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back up. We're going to get really fancy here. So this is where some of you are going to like just, pretend your computer's no longer working. Bring the ball between the ankles. Lean back again. This time, squeeze the abdominals. Hold them steady. This is going to be a balancing act. Get ready for the circus. We're going to extend and tap. So this requires a lot of control. That your hips, I told you were going to like turn off your computer at this point and go, this is not working. What does she expect from us here? Lift the legs up and hold. Now rock your hips to one side, then rock your hips to the other side. All right, this actually feels good to me, to rock onto my hips side to side. But this is really all about balancing with your abs and how I'm holding myself in place. I don't really even need my arms. So make sure you're not like leaning really hard on your arms. Come back to center and hold. We'll drop the ball. You can kick it away. Come back up. Drop one leg and lift. Drop the other leg and lift. Drop and lift. Drop and lift. So 3, 2, and 1. Roll all the way down. What happened to smiling? You can do it. Come on. Roll down. Widen the knees out. Bring the soles of the feet together. Bring your hands to your belly. Close your eyes. Take one deep breath in. Let it go. All right. Our practice today was a little wild. By that I mean we did a lot of challenging movement patterns, and that did create stress. So I want this now to be an opportunity to slow down and brave. You already braved the hardest part. This part is brave the reintegration of those lessons. All that you've been through. You've been battered and beaten down. Right? You've been through the ringer and back. With your hands on your belly, I want your hands to be saying to your belly, it's okay. I'm here, and I'm healing. I'm here and I'm healing. 3 deep breaths. Reset your gut to believe in stillness. 1 more breath. Good. Bring your knees back up. Cross one ankle over the other knee. Bring both legs into you. Wherever you want to grab is fine. I like grabbing the foot and the knee and pulling. Dragging this calf into the chest. All right, I want you to start again. Breathe deeply. Inhale all the way. Exhale. You've been better through it. You've survived that crisscrossing leg and the leg lifts and the sun salutations. And every cell in your body now is healthier and more alive. So feel aliveness, feel the bubbling up of living energy. 2 slow breaths. Then switch to the other leg. This pose, stretching the glutes, and we were really using the glutes a lot in so many of those hands and knees, and then the standing bar work. But this pose is a really good opportunity to meet yourself here. So again, I want to tell you over and over, when we do a practice together, you and me, it doesn't matter if you can do every exercise and pose and every stretch and every breath. What matters is that you meet yourself again and again. So you can do your practice standing somewhere else. You can do your practice in the midst of some big chaotic event. Let's do 3 breaths together here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Uncross your legs. Take your hands to the tops of your knees. And first I want you to kind of push your knees down like you're trying to drive your leg bone down into the earth. So kind of push like straight down. Then, keeping that pressure downward, circle the knees a little bit around. What we're really doing is we're taking the ligaments. Remember, those are the things that tie bones together. They're on the back of the pelvis, the back there. And it's kind of squishing them around. Ligaments are really, really tough, ropes. And they're not going to really move very much. But it actually feels good, usually, if we can get them to move a little. Rock side to side now, so let the entire hip, knee rock with your hands. Hips left, hips right. Remember we were doing sort of that side boat exercise before? We really were strengthening the low back portion of the obliques. Give the knees a hug in. In fact, imagine that. Imagine that your body needs a hug. And then release all the way out into Shavasana. So as you unwind, get comfortable. I want you to move around on your mat so that the natural curves of the spine are there. Begin to breathe just into the chest. So when you inhale, the chest expands kind of naturally. And when you exhale, the chest relaxes naturally. So this isn't a forced big breath, but you are trying to direct the energy just around the heart, just around the lungs. Imagine that the energy that's there around the heart and the lungs is super purified, is super infused with some magical energy source. Sparkle that energy into your heart and lungs, cleaning it out and restoring it to a healthy state. When you inhale, the lungs brighten up and sparkle. When you exhale, that light goes out a little bit and there's a calm. Inhale, brighten and sparkle. Exhale, calm at ease. Brighten and sparkle. Calm, ease. Now just pause. Kind of feel the tingling from the effort of breathing, of receiving. When you're ready now, roll your way onto your side. And to push into the floor, open your eyes and make your way slowly now all the way back up. So rock, push up, come back up. Good. Take an easy seat. We're trying to find those sits bones every time we come to this pose. Inhale and stretch up. Exhale, release down. And we're all done. You did it. That was a fantastic job today, guys. Thank you so much.